Hi everyone, it's Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344. It's June 30th, 2019 today. We're at the end of June already. I can't believe it. The energies the past couple days have been a little tough. I definitely had a little bit of a cry purge last night after a movie. Probably did a little bit too much yesterday out in the city and definitely felt it after I got home. So you may be feeling the same way too. So just get yourself back up and get back on your horse. Okay, find the things that you like to do and just enjoy your day. It's so beautiful out, having the sun every day. Remember when the winters when we never had any sun, and then you'll learn to appreciate when the sun is out. Yay! So anyway, I did a read this morning. I put out the cards and I didn't do a full read. I just did my minis on it. So it was an extra short read. And so I have both reads for you today. One is a short read, and then the second one is actually the long read. So there's a lot of information here. What's out on the table is the second read. I'll show you a quick pick of the basic cards from the first read. This is the first read here. I don't know if you can see it well. I thought it was clearer than that. When I looked at it before it was, but see if I can get the thing to actually focus on it. No? Huh. Sorry about that. Well, anyway, the middle of the read there is the Ten of Pentacles, and the Nine of Pentacles is the challenge card there. It was the Knight of Cups there, and the Four of Wands in the underlying energy. I don't know why it's not focusing in. It was just focusing in when I looked before. Oh well. The crowning position is the Shadow card. The recent past is the Strength card. The near future was Seven of Crystals, which is like Pentacles. And how the masculine sees himself in this one was the Page of Orbs, or the Page of Swords. Around him was the Wounded Warrior, the Nine of Wands, or Flames. The blocks he needed to clear were the Nine of Orbs, and then the ending card was Indigo, which is like the Magician, but also the Seven of Cups after that, and then the Four of Cups, which is like the grounding and integrating card for me. Oh. So I'm going to get right into that read, and then I'll have more on the second read, which was more expansive. Again, it's the 30th of June. 30 is all about that Four of Wands energy, that union energy, structure and home. The 0 supporting the 3 of self-expression and being authentic to yourself. So all about the 3 today, which is about coming together. It's about siblings, and the Empress, you know, it's about Gaia and abundance. But besides abundance, it's mostly about expressing yourself in an authentic way, which is abundance. So the day adds up to 48-3. And the card that goes along with that one is the Eight of Cups, which is walking away and within, trying to find the missing piece, letting go of something that you've spent a lot of time on. So we have the Four of Wands of the structure and home, and the Eight of Cups of walking away and within, really focusing on yourself. So as we started today, the first read, just wanted to see if there was anything from yesterday that I didn't tell you that I wanted to. I didn't tell you on the way home, when I was driving home from the city yesterday, a storm came in all of a sudden, which I did tell you, but my wipers went on like suddenly by themselves, which I've never seen in my car before. I don't know if there's sensors in the windshield, but I've never noticed it before. So that was kind of cool as the thunder and lightning came in. This first read was done at 8:39 to 40 this morning. 39 is the Knight of Cups and 40 is the Page of Cups, so very loving energy there. But 39 and 49, definitely a lot of those coming up today. 49 being the Nine of Cups, the Get Your Wish card. I woke up with a weird dream, but I don't want to verbalize it. It wasn't that it was about someone committing suicide, someone who's famous, so I just didn't want to put it out there. But I also then saw a heading when I looked up to see if there was anything going on, the heading of beautiful twins, and it was just two identical girl twins that were born on July 7th, 2010, which was kind of cool. Since July is coming up, that was 7/7/2010. And my clock was, my bedroom clock was way off from the clock. I don't know when it went out, but it did, because it was like 5 hours different from the normal clock. So that was kind of interesting, getting the different times today, and that misalignment of time of I think it was like 5 hours and some. What was it? It was more like, yeah, like 4.5 hours actually. Exactly. 4 hours and 30 minutes. Very interesting. So being that today's the 30 and adds to 48.3, the major arcana for the first read were Strength, Shadow, and Indigo, which is the Strength card is the same in the traditional deck, but also the Shadow is like the Devil card, and Indigo is like the Magician card. There was 1 cup, 3 pentacles, 3 swords, and 1 wand, which is 1, 3, 3, 1, 13 and 31, which is the reflection of each other, the Death card, and the 31 of the 5 of Wands, which is that expansion card, conflict, competition, all of those energies. The court cards in the first read were Knight of Cups, Knight of Swords, and Page of Swords. So 2 knights and a page, and also the Nine of Pentacles came up, which often for me represents a person. The numbers that came up in that first read for the masculine, and again, these are both the Divine Masculine Twin Flames, but again, it's the Divine Masculine within the feminine as well. So it's 44. Triple nines came up today for the masculine. And then the sequence 8, 9, 10, as well as in the code line, 9,109 came up, as well as 9,122. The numbers 4 and 9, so again, that's 49. The numbers 41, which is the Ace of Cups, 44, which is the 4 of Cups, that 999. 8910 also came up, as well as 48 and 89. And 48 again is that 8 of Cups. So since I didn't do all the decks, I only did the mini deck, there was no numerology card along the code line. But the message there was about aiding to seek a new beginning for the Sovereign and or the Hermit, the collective consciousness. But it was kind of funny because it came up like the Shah in Dick, like the shaman side of the masculine caveman kind of personality. It's funny the words that the Spirit uses to get us to where we need to go with the message. But it had to do with some shadiness, and Shady Lane came up as well, and that comes up again, whether it's in this read or the next one. And in addition to aid, it can reference to someone who's called Addie, ADE as a nickname, is, you know, for several different names, but that's come up a lot, and that came up actually twice in a row in this coding line, okay? So, but for this person, or just aiding, seeking new beginning, sovereign or sovereignty, as the Hermit, the Wise One, the collective consciousness, bringing out the shaman in the lower energy of the masculine, okay? Also the indigo comes up here, all right? So the indigo warrior, which can, you know, their tempers can rise a bit there if you're indigo personalities. So it's about tempering your energies in this heat of the summer now, which a lot of about that will come up in the read. Also, then I was getting for A, dead E, which also references those letters again, ADE, which was kind of interesting because that was the 2 ADEs in a row. A, dead E. And that can definitely be, you know, Adam and Eve, right? A and E. Seek the Hermit, the Wise One, the collective consciousness, destiny of the single and the wealthy, the sovereign. In the shady lane, though. So be careful about using your discernment and discrimination as far as, you know, who you believe, especially if offers are made to you. Make sure you feel into them and they resonate with you, and there's no pressure put on you to make a decision, all right? And also headaches were coming up here as well. So, practice your abilities of discerning light from dark energy and what's good for you, what resonates for you. What resonates for someone else may not be what resonates for you. It doesn't have to be something necessarily sinister. As we get into the first read, the Knight of Cups reversed, being emotional at home. The Page of Cups offers love, or a friend or child helps dump attachments. That could be a yard sale even. End of family or dumping family cycle, not working or can't focus at work or overworking, and beating it to death. Beating a dead horse, not offering love, being insincere, jealousy at home, or about a home for the Divine Masculine. A big or bold move to get away from Cancer or Cancer energy, but blocked by journey or journeyman on white horse with good news comes in. An announcement that had been held back about a negative past or past returning with Justice or Libra stretched too thin at yellow home, trying to put the brakes on, but it's too late. It's not working. Justice sits still and upright as chaos and negativity works its way out around him. There's a history possibly of child abuse, verbal abuse, or negative attacks on children, or holding tongue in court but not happy. Jealousy around Libra or court case settlement here. Recently, for the masculine, strong and sharing insecurities about an offer of love. Sagittarius or Leo may be jealous, insecure, and manipulative here, and the foundation being over isolating, magnetizing preparations for a new life. Holding your tongue, holding back announcements, or thoughts that are abusive to self. Family that is strong, possibly wealthy, and it can just be abundant in love, but with Knight of Wands reversed and King of Cups reversed. Could be a philanderer, untrustworthy man, challenged by sovereign and their independence with a big head, or someone who's awakened at home. Lying in a split and needing clarity, somebody's pulling Excalibur, the I in the I am presence, the chakra system connection, wanting family legacy or independence, legacy of twin flame sovereign, or legacy or twin flame sovereign. So it could be the masculine wanting to come forward, whether he's becoming more aggressive about getting what he wants as far as a legacy, or their twin flame. So now for the masculine is detox and chaos of a prison or hostage situation, and the hostage can be himself, in uncomfortable feelings about a connection. But soon the Divine Feminine's heart is receiving visitors, not expressing their feelings of lack of affection from a King of Pentacles reversed or a loss of income. And the King of Pentacles reversed can just reflect the status of the feminine herself. So impatient and unsatisfied, no word from the Divine Masculine, and forced to work on next level of her own business or business plan or a strategy to go forward, or just being patient and do what you've been doing and stay happy. The masculine seeing himself as the Page of Swords with a message, destined to deal with the Queen of Wands reversed to inspire him to new growth, because she's obviously being negative. But around him, the wounded warrior, High Priestess, is performing and implementing something, not something new, not showing their face, hiding a secret. And so a masculine may be saying, that's new, and observing something about the Divine Feminine. Needing to clear blocks about ending pain. The Empress, frustration, or has blocks to happiness. No passion in general, or no passion for the sun, energy, happiness, and kids. So the masculine may be thinking this about his karmic or about the Divine Feminine, but it may or may not be true. So it's getting past blocks of assuming things about anybody. Indigo child, it's about knowing what you know, what's right in front of you, not the potential of people, not what they're going to become, but what they are right in this moment, and what you are right in this moment, what resonates with you now. So indigo child, third-party gossip or overindulgence, antisocial behavior, the sealed Divine Feminine may be grieving and making him feel insecure and manipulative, just because we feel each other, but and not walking away from what maybe he should be walking away from. Family talk in passing, so maybe running into people, walking dogs, and tripping up, lacking faith, or fell from grace from the family. Grounding and integrating emotional turbulence. Destiny with the King of Wands, depression, deception, or an Aquarius Cancer, very negative or depressed at the new moon. Negative self-talk between a Page of Swords and a Queen of Swords, and a fight ensuing. And there was multiple places in this read where mother and child came up. So it doesn't have to be a young child. It could be the masculine and his parent, or him and his kids, or his karmic and the kids. But it was definitely coming up as feminine mother and masculine or feminine child. It could be. Okay, so the Knight of Cups at home, sending 5D messages. That can definitely be the masculine, can be child as well. So there could be children awakening to their abilities. Short but sweet to the wounded warrior with strong family and independence. The divine feminine's heart in pain due to shadow of indigo man-child, resisting walking away and within to ground and integrate their destiny. The Knight of Cups strong or jealous Leo with harsh words to family of Capricorn or Devil, the challenge being sovereign or sovereignty. The Page of Swords has a message to the divine feminine's heart as the wounded warrior is purging insecurities of him not doing the work. The Page of Swords and Queen of Swords fight mother, child, Leo, indigo, masculine, divine masculine, divine feminine, divine masculine, and karmic. Queen of Wands reversed and Page of Wands upright. Mother frustrated or blocked by children, and I was definitely getting, it's not something I would normally say, but I was definitely getting cock block here as children. The teen is lying with a big head, and the younger one's indigo with insecurities, manipulative and overindulgent. So that, if you can have no kids or more than 2 kids, but those are just some of the energies that were coming up here. Or Leo with new child has to dump all activities and luxuries and no family help or not working, and a family burden, dumping emotional attachments. Yeah, something about that came up in that read. Nothing really significant came out of what I found, but things I was getting like 9 in German, but nin also N-I-N. And when I saw something online, it looked like Time magazine, that time in Russian was H, like a backwards N and then H in Russian. So I don't know if that meant time. It's not what that came up like when I looked online. But Time magazine might come up for some reason, and also NIN was coming up as the center of a medieval Christian bishopric church, like the Croatian branch of the church. And I'm sorry, but I'm having trouble speaking today. And also the seat of the Princess of Dalmatia, which was funny because of course that brings up 101 Dalmatians. And I went to write LOL 101 Dalmatians, and LOL is literally 101, so that's significant as well. So German came up there, as well as Nin and Nina. So those names may come up. And then another heading came up. It was an article which was a bit over my head, but it was MI-28N, Night Hunter, Russian designation. So here Russian stuff came up as well. So as I turned the page for this read, the lights flickered. And I didn't know if it was the sun or the lamp, but it was very obvious. And that was at 10:03 this morning, 10 being the Wheel of Fortune and 3 the Empress. Some other energies that came up as a side note was that the worst was over in the 5D, the Queen of Cups choosing the left path or the feminine, the Hierophant, purging and stressing, crying on and off, Queen of Pentacles transforming and stepping right over others to do it. Presently strong, carrying large burden, stubborn, refusing to move or not working at all, or just being still, a detox in chaos of sovereign or sovereignty, split, separation, heartbreak, love rain on me, letting go to repair, the Emperor on top of it all. All right, so it ended up with the Emperor upright on top. But that changes in the second read. The second read, the Emperor's reversed. So there's a lot of energy that was back and forth. So as I started getting into the second read that you see on the table now, And this one was done at 10:33 to 34. So we have the 33 to 34, or the 3 to 4 again. The Empress and the Emperor. Before I got to the read, and I was still dealing out some of the cards, at 10:23 I got Smooth Sailing, Transition. And I went to write after Major Heat, but I wrote Heart. So somebody might have had some kind of heart treatment or procedure. But after Smooth Sailing, Transition, after Major Heat or Heart, and the Wounded Warrior, and the King of Swords without options. So I was getting shading or overshadowing, karma or karmic, as far as the King of Swords without options. Then I was getting at 10:25, 1-2, buckle my shoe, and then at the end of the read, 3-4, shut the door behind you. At 10:26, I got for the Adept of Orbs, which is like the Knight of Swords, that they won't stay in their place. So that may be a message for someone as well. And then that may be the challenge for the masculine, that the Knight of Swords won't stay in their place. They won't stay in their place, or they literally won't, they refuse to allow them to stay in their house or where they're living. And then 10:28 is the Wheel of Fortune, and then the 28 of the Two of Wands, or Two Flames. 26 was the Page of Wands, 25 was the Knight of Wands, and 23 was the King of Wands. So also Wands energy. So 10:28, 10 covered or replaced by a new beginning. And then again at 10:28 was Monkey in the middle came up, Arabian White Horses, and the middle of 5, or the Hermit energy, which was interesting because I'm the middle of 5, but that's definitely coming up for other reasons as well. And those horses from the Chariot card that you see, you don't see it right now, but I'll show that to you in a minute. But the Chariot card in the Sirian Starseed deck has 5, they look like 5 white Arabian horses. So it definitely has to do with that Chariot card and a big, bold move as far as ascension. Also at 10:30 I got, is there something I'm not getting here? And it had to do with division and divinity and what it means. As I placed down the Tower, the Queen of Wands reversed, and the Three of Swords reversed. Okay, so suddenly there's definitely negative energy with the Queen of Wands, and she came up reversed twice in this read. So it's definitely negative energy on that Queen of Wands part, with the Three of Swords reversed as well. Okay, so that could just be them healing, but in a bad mood. But there's some other stuff that comes up in the read. We'll get to that in a minute. At 10:35, an alarm was going off as far as down the street somewhere, an ambulance or other. And for this read, the major arcana were Transition, which is like death, Karma, like judgment, Chariot, which is just the Chariot, and then the Divine Justice card is just justice in the traditional deck. So very much the Trump or major arcana cards are about Scorpio, Cancer, Libra, and Aquarian energies. Pisces came up a lot as well. There were 2 wands, 1 cup, 1 pentacle, and 3 swords in this read, or 2-1-1-3. 21 is the world, and 13 again is the death or transition card, and this the transition card's in the foundation there in front of you here. That's the transition card or death in the traditional deck. The numbers and the coding for this read were all about spirituality. And the court cards were Queen of Pentacles, Knight of Swords. After the read was the Page of Cups, and those were the only court cards. All right, so a king, a queen, I don't know why I keep saying king. There was a lot of kings going on in the clarification cards, but the main deck just had the Queen of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords, and then that Page of Cups after the read. The numbers were 2, 5, 8 in the code line, along with 13 and 15, so that's the death card again, and the shadow card again, because that came up in the first read. And the spirituality, the numbers and code line, we had 55, 10, 10. 55 is the Ace of Swords, or the Truth. 45 came up as well. The Five of Cups, which is that grief card, or not letting go of the baton. You know, it could be regret as well and loss. The sequence of numbers 7, 8, 9, 10, and that always brings up begin again, came up. 24 of the Queen of Wands. 57, the Three of Swords, which came up in that comment before the read, because the Queen of Wands and the Three of Swords were both in that with the Tower. And then 78 came up, which is the 10 of Pentacles. 89, and then 9, 10 to begin again, and that 21, 13 that I told you already. The code line here about spirituality was all about the show of power. There's a couple different interpretations here, but the show of power in the southeast with the two or twins, high vibration trill, right? So that back and forth high vibration of the 0101 or 121212, okay? I was getting music to your ears, tears of joy, tears for fears. The 8, the divine energy, up in arms, the age of C, the messenger of truth at war. So I was getting spiritual warfare here as well. And the age of the letter C, that goes into a long line of some other information I'll bring up in a minute. But also, NASA was coming up as far as ETs, also nonsense around that, and water flow, and diving deep. So someone may have found something underwater as far as ET stuff, but diving deep, an energy arm. So someone may have had some big equipment, you know, in the ocean looking for stuff, and something might have come up as far as NASA and ETs, but also could just be Entertainment Tonight message. But I was getting clear of C, so that could be the ocean as C. It can be vitamin C that you need to take more of because we're feeling vulnerable. Cannot talk today. Feeling vulnerable today with all the very heavy energies. It's been very stressful the past couple days. In the body, in the heart, the chest, the back. I get spine pain as well. But the clearing of the sea could be about literally clearing the health of the sea, but also Queen of the Nile and Queen of the Night was coming up as the messenger of truth wages spiritual warfare. So Queen of the Night came up and Queen of the Nile, but also Queen of the South, the desert, the damned, and Queen of the Night Arya and Queen of the Night Flower also came up. And the Night Bernie relief came up, which is a plaque of clay terracotta of the naked winged woman flanked by owls and standing on the backs of 2 lions. So here Lion's Gate comes up again. That was South Mesopotamia, which would now be Iraq. Most probably baby or Babylonia, so baby might be coming up here as well. Baby Lani, I don't know if someone's naming their baby Lani maybe. During the reign of Hammurabi, and that was 1792 to 1750 BCE. And she matches up with another piece that was God of Ur. Queen of the South came up as a TV series that started June 23rd, 2016 on USA. A crime drama from a Spanish TV show and novel that was called La Reina del Sur. And then in this Bernie relief, she wore a headdress or deity and holds a sacred rod and ring in raised hands, legs tapered to bird talons, gripping lions' backs with dew claw on her calves. Mountain motif of being on the high ground, and she was called different things, so there's controversy about which one she actually is. Ayana or Ishtar, Lilith, or Orishkagel, I'm not sure how it's pronounced. But this piece is in the British Museum, room 56 in London, and 56 has been coming up major time this week, which is the 2 of Swords, or being in your knowing without needing to see. Syria comes up here too, because the trader or the dealer that brought this piece to UK was Syrian. And then also when I looked this up, the picture of it, there was a picture of Zeus with a comment, Zeus the womanizer, on the same page as the pic. So that was kind of interesting. So Queen of the Sea also came up, as it was literally Queen of the letter C. So Queen of the Ocean, but also Queen of the Nile. The Queen of the Sea was about a book about the exile. It was based on the exile of Queen Elizabeth by her sister. So a lot of stuff about sibling rivalry is coming up here. There's also a song by the Broken Family Band. Okay, so broken families are coming up here. With one, and the lyrics from that song, with one hand in hair, points the finger at whoever she chooses, which is so interesting because I was at the museum yesterday and I actually bought a finger of Yod. So it's that pointing finger, right? So they must go, whoever she points at, they must go with her. Sometimes nothing must take the place of nothing in a heart. The king of the hill, with lands in somewhere else's pockets, spits on whoever he chooses, and they must get themselves out. So that was some of the lines of that song. And then the book or movie was a book about At the Bottom of the Sea with a prophecy for the finder, shall save I cannot speak, but the Fuhrer might be coming up here, 4 human beings, and then receive a human body of her own and an immortal soul. So this is about the Queen of the Sea, okay? All's well that ends well when you do the right thing. That came up for me. So Amphitrite came up, the Greek goddess, and Nereid, the Queen of the Sea, wife of Poseidon. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Nereid or Nereid, I'm not sure, or Nereid. The Queen of the Sea, wife of Poseidon, and eldest of the Nereides, or Nereides. Loud moaning mother of fish, seals, and dolphins. Usually seen beside husband in chariot drawn by fish-tailed horses. And they looked, in the picture, it looked exactly like the white horses in this chariot card, only there were 4, and in this chariot card in the Syrian Starseed deck, there are 5 horses. But it was very cool because in the picture that I pulled up, they were with 4 horses on a chariot. So the Roman name was Cilicia, and because there was 4 horses in the picture and not 5 like the Syrian card, I was getting the space between and third-party issues here. And some of the information was coming from theoi.com. 2 angels were also in that picture, draping an orange cloth like rainbow over their heads. And that was Poseidon and his wife. Queen of the Seas. So Queen of the Seas also was an adventure movie that came out in 1961, which of course sparked my eye because I was born in 61. That was 1 hour, 27 minutes, and there were 111 stars. And 5.4 out of 10. 54 is the Page of Swords, so it's about the message of truth. And that was about a female redhead who was a robber who dresses like a man to rob ladies' jewels, and meets a nobleman in jail who pretends to be like a robber like her in order to flirt with her. It ends in a battle between her as the menace, because she continues her career of crime, but it ends in the battle between her as a menace to the state of Florida, the governor there, who invites nobleman to lead King's forces, the naval forces, against the pirates, which part was her. So this brings in, here's the lovers, who end up coming back to each other as enemies. And then the Rook came up as an advertisement online, but it was in really big letters. And the Rook is like, and then I wrote down the ad at the top of the page, but I was about to write down that the Rook would be like the Page, and I just talked about the Page of Swords, being that 54, the message of truth, the Rook. The Queen of the Nile then comes up, and the first thing that came up was the Twilight Zone episode, number 143, which adds up to 8, in case you were curious. It was a 1959 series, 59 being that war, the 5 of Swords, and the 19 of the Sun, that masculine energy. But what it comes down to is this Queen of the Nile, because the Queen of C that was coming up in the code line was about Cleopatra and the Queen of Cups, both C's. So Ptolemaic Queen, only one who issued her own coins. She was actually, her full name was Cleopatra the Seven, Philopater, I'm not sure how it's pronounced, 69-10 of 12, August 30 BC. Last active ruler of the Ptolemaic Kingdom of Egypt. She marked the end of the Hellenistic period of Egypt into the province of the Roman Empire. So then came up 51 BC. Cleo and her younger brother were put into power jointly. So they were all called Ptolemies. So he was Ptolemy 13. So they joint ruled, but they had a falling out that led to a civil war. So here again is about sibling rivalry. This is one of the wounds that needs to come out today, okay? So in 47 BC, he died at the Battle of the Nile. Caesar on Cleopatra's side, and he was an elected dictator at the time, declared Cleopatra and her younger brother joint rulers. But this was after she ended up being joint rulers with Ptolemy 14 because 13 was killed in war, and then 14 took over. So it must have been another younger brother of hers, because it still said younger brother. It was kind of confusing there. But Caesar had a private affair with Cleopatra, which produced the son Caesarion, like cesarean section. And that child was Ptolemy 15. So Cleopatra traveled to Rome as a client queen in 46 and 44 BC, and I bring that up just because the years 46 and 44 are the 6 of Cups, and that 6 of Cups and the 4 of Cups, the grounding and integrating card. They're all BC, and she was staying at Caesar's villa. Then Caesar was assassinated in 44 BC. She attempted to have Caesarion named as his heir, but that fell through due to his grandnephew, the grandnephew of Octavia, who became Augustus by 27 BC, the first Roman emperor. So Cleopatra had Ptolemy the 15 killed so that she could elevate the status of her son, Caesarion, as co-ruler with her. The Liberator's Civil War of 43 to 42 BC, Cleopatra sided with Mark Antony and Marcus Aemilius, which were a group of Octavian. And after they met, her and Mark Antony in 41 BC in Tarsus, they had an affair, and then they had 3 children: Alexander, Helios, Cleos, Selina II, and then Ptolemy, Philadelphus. So Cleo and Mark Antony married, but in order for him to marry her, he had to divorce Octavia's sister, Octavia Minor. So, of course, here's another sibling rivalry issue. Because he divorced Octavia's sister, now Octavia ends up being Mark Antony's enemy. So there was a final war of the Roman Republic. Octavia declared war on Cleopatra after winning the Battle of Actium. Octavia won, and then invaded Egypt in 30 BC, defeating Mark Antony, leading to his suicide, And then when Cleopatra learned that Octavian planned to bring her home to Rome for his triumphal procession, she committed suicide by poisoning. All right, so here we have Romeo and Juliet, two people killing each other, not for the same reasons, but the same type of thing. And a lot of incestuous stuff here with brothers and siblings and children and killing each other for power and position, okay? So it definitely could be some sibling rivalry, as well as incestuous wounds coming up here as well. So the Nile, I was also getting twin traders. Nile twin traders, divorce karmic, Queen of Sea or Cleopatra, spiritual warfare, that the karmic's family takes them down. Okay, so that's kind of like what happened in their situation. So considering like Cleopatra and Mark Antony twins, and now we're also having a division between love and loyalty to family here. So there's another wound, big one for me, I know for sure. You know, choosing the family over your true love. So why would you, when the family may not even be loyal to, I just listed to you all these people killing their own brothers and kids, for power and placement and all that kind of stuff. So it's about the karmic's family taking them down if they leave for their true love. So like in your situation with your twin, that if the masculine leaves the karmic's family may take him down, or his own family for that matter, in position or whatever it is, okay? So fighting and conflict come up here for the Page of Wands and the Knight of Wands. Marriage, so that could be a marriage of partnership, in business, or it could be a marriage of two people who are acting like children, a marriage of siblings, which would be then incestuous, but all this kind of interesting stuff was coming up here between siblings. Family, so fighting or conflict of the Page of Wands, the Page of Wands and the Knight of Wands, so wards could be something as well, but the marriage, family, establishment, tradition, and contracts, inheritance of children is all the kids care about, all right? So that issue was coming up as well. Sibling rivalry, incest, same-sex, and child brides. And right at that moment, my son called, and it was 11:57, which is that Three of Swords, okay? Third-party situations and just heartbreak in general. And Strawberry Fields Forever came up during that phone call, along with Angels in the Outfield and Field of Dreams and baseball. And the lyrics from Strawberry Fields: no one, I think, is in my tree. I mean it must be high or low. And just summarizing, even if you're off tune, it's okay, is what the lyrics were saying. Nothing is real and nothing to get hung up about. So, in just reading about the lyrics a little bit, after Penny Lane, Lennon had moved in with his aunt in the burbs with a garden where, doctors and lawyers lived. And it was, and there was a class thing here too. Like, there was a separation of class here between where he was living now and the other three of the Beatles, but it really wasn't all that much different when it came down to it. Near there, he listed it as being a half a class higher than Paul, George, and Ringo, who lived in government subsidy housing. So near there was Strawberry Fields. So it was literally a place, a house near a boys' reformatory with garden parties where he used to go, and they used to sell lemonade for a penny, but he always had fun there. So it was just a place where, Strawberry Fields Forever. Don't let anything get to you, right? There's nothing to get hung up about. Okay, so love, sibling stuff, love versus family, all this other kind of stuff. Yeah, and spiritual warfare. Okay, so as I start this read that you're looking at now, I'm sorry, my thing is moving a little bit here. Okay. So as I started the read, the number 12 also came up. So here we have, he said nothing to get hung up about, and here we have the Hangman as we start, and also the twins. The King of Swords and Wounded Warrior have run out of options. The twins up in the air in my beautiful red balloon, so the red balloon was also coming up. After purging, the sacroiliac joints, which are two, take a risk in passing on downloads, articulating about skeletal system, The heat, swelling, hot air balloon, the need to release steam. As temperatures rise to human body temperature, like the blood pressure is systolic and diastolic, rising pressure over underlying or baseline pressure at rest, or in other words, the boiling point. Let off steam, puncture holes, openings to vent, chugga chugga choo choo, okay? I think I can. When the train overheats, but take time off to cool. Water, oceans, deep diving, and shade. When too much fight or too much light, seek natural shade like a tree, water, lay down on the cool grass, sell lemonade, take it easy, stop. Spring is for tail wagon, but I was writing wagon like wagon train. Spring is for tail wagon. Summer for sweet tea and chillin' and vacations. So it was bringing up the natural scheme of things here. Also, it was bringing up the sacroiliac joints, so the sacrum was coming up along these lines as well. So there's definitely a lot of orange energy coming up here, and the lower chakras in general. So the reds, oranges, and yellows. And then as I turn the page, it's 12, 24. 12 again is the hangman, the wisdom. 24 being the Queen of Wands, which often represents karma, but it's also omega, the end of karma. The Queen of Cups comes up here. So that Queen of Sea is the Queen of Cups, which is very representative of the Divine Feminine. Present to the moment. Now this Queen of Cups doesn't have to be the Divine Feminine, but it can be for sure. Is present to the moment at the eclipse. The burden lifted for a moment in the eclipse and can see better. See the cups, the emotions, the Cleopatra. See the ocean better. The King of Swords of cool contemplation, and the Empress with ice cream temptations, plantations, with imagery of evergreens and nuts for the squirrely at heart, the restless, eccentric or eccentric, nervous, fidgety, some think insane. The mutable signs, Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, Pisces. In union at home, the King of Swords putting mother in a home perhaps, or someone thinks the King of Swords should be committed. The Queen of Cups, or karmic, or mother, thinks all twins are crazy. 4 seasons, and change, and change, and change. And the light just flickered, did you see that? That was coming up. There is a reason, and change, and change, and change. Okay, and then the Emperor comes up here, which is also the number 4. 4 seasons, 4 reasons. The Emperor, who's the man of reason. The King of Swords with wings on his helmet, trying to understand what being green and in unconditional love all means. Sounds like a cult to me. 12 channels and a domino reaction, butterfly effect. Let chips fall where they may. Southern and northern hemispheres reflect each other. In the 12-month cycle, 12 hours, 12 strands, 12 waves. 12, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. High vibration, excitation. California comes up there. And also, cations about the ions, all right? And fall and May came up here, referencing the fall and the spring in the fall in the southern and northern hemispheres because they're opposite at the same time, but also because we're talking about the seasons here and the purpose for each season, and the cations, the excitation of ions, and vacation, and what that means and why. So when you have a cation or a positive charge, you're charged, right? It's that person who has aggression in them, that is needy about something, with a space open to magnetize in. So the feminine naturally holds this space, right? Because they have space. Because they have an innie as opposed to an outie. So when you have an innie, you hold space to have others gravitate toward you. It's just like in your house too. You know, when you want to get rid of stuff, to make space for things to come in. Hold open space to magnetize. But heat in the summer, like now, neutralizes magnetization. It destabilizes the magnetic field, the safe zone. And in the cold, it strengthens magnetization. So the spring and the fall are times of getting busy because you're at the moderate temperature and it's good for your energy. The winter's time for sleep or hibernation. The summer, as we have a helicopter going overhead, the summer's time to let off steam, to relax, slow down, enjoy each other's company, and out of the heat. Brain wars in need of shade to cool off, and offer love to turn the Emperor and the Queen of Pentacles right side up. Both drained and or sick, low energy due to the heat. Leo, ego, weak, in Cancer season, the 12th house of the ego, because it's spirituality and wrapping things up, the end of the cycle before Leo starts. And why mid-July is the new year? Because Leo is actually the start of the ego. All right, so we're talking about mid-July. I'm not sure exactly what the transition there is in July from Cancer to Leo, but you know, it's always somewhere between they're always between the 18th and 23rd, around there. But this is saying why, when, you know, we're in Cancer now, that this is Leo's 12th house, or the ego. So this would be a difficult time for Leo, because it's time to purge everything he no longer needs, or she no longer needs in her life, because it's the end of their cycle going into their new year in Leo, which is the sun. It's the, you know, the first house, the house of the masculine energy. So it's kind of a confirmation of the July galactic new year, right? So offering yourself love here, out of the light, when you're out of control and ungrounded because of the heat. It's telling you the heat's gonna, because once the heat gets around body temperature and above, it knocks your ability to magnetize off and be centered. So you have to ground more. So there's too much red, orange, and yellow. Overkill, overheated, sunburn. So think about that. When you have too much, you ground, but when you when it's like the cards when they're reversed. You know, like when the Hermit card is reversed, it's like over isolating, or it could be coming out. So it's really the same, because once you've over isolated, it's overkill. There comes a point of no return where you have to come out, right? So you either die or you rise. Well, it's the same principle here. Too much red, orange, and yellow is overkill. You overheat or you get sunburn. 3 generations or generators of heat or heart. The Emperor reversed, representing ego death. The Queen of Pentacles reversed, representing not concerned about money or just not grounded. And the Sun reversed, allowing yourself to fall. So this is about the divine masculine, divine feminine, allowing the ego to die, allowing the money to fall, or allowing the money to decrease, or allowing yourself to become ungrounded at times, and allowing yourself to fall at times. You'll get back on it later. The gold coin is the internal sun, the Christ consciousness of the feminine to the outer sun, which is masculine. A negative plus a negative becomes more of a negative, just like the Emperor reversed plus the Queen of Pentacles reversed becomes the Sun reversed. But don't let the heat build. A negative times a negative, because it's exponential to that, turns positive due to overkill, when there's no way but up. The Emperor reversed plus the Queen of Pentacles reversed could be seen as ill or drained. Family neediness, need to interfere, interject, entertain, to put their 2 cents in. If charged and in lack, there is a need to react, control, a signal to rebalance, physically and energetically. In other words, shade, relax, let off steam. And then I was getting silver and gold, because silver very much represents the cold, and gold the sun. 30 plus 49. 30 pieces of silver, 49 gold rush. All right, so then August rush comes up, and lazy days. 30 plus 49 equals 79, the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Hurry up and wait. That's always how it works. Then we have in the Romance Angels, worth waiting for. And underneath that was having heart-to-heart conversations. It's worth the wait. It's such a message here that to go by the seasons, allow things to naturally take their course. And hurry up and wait was just a standard when I worked at University of Penn. You know, you always everything was a big rush to get things started, and then we would just have to wait to get to the next step of the process. So we always think there's more of a need to hurry than there actually is. There is a season and turn and turn and turn. Okay, so all of those kind of energies, and I'm probably saying all the lyrics wrong, but that's okay. It's just the message that's supposed to come through. As I turn to the page, it's 107, and that's of the Magician and the Chariot. So here, the Chariot again. 5 of Wands is out and being seen. Conflict, seeing others together, and sexual heat. The heat expanding. Combustion engine, steamy, surprise. Doll yourself up, but stay quiet about flirtation. Or ex trying to get him to have sex with her to get pregnant, or STD. Be careful who's putting their butt in your face. Leo, ego, in weakened state, may be vulnerable to disease now. People taking clothes off due to the heat, breeding contempt, temptation, and excitation. X with a speeding ticket. Then numbers came up of June, July, September, and October. 6, 7, 9, and 10. Time to get busy, but the month of 10 really shines, as well as the numbers 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, 19, 22, 24, and 26, the days of the month. People noticing how young Divine Feminine looks and what she's been using. So it's saying, like, in the month of October, by then, people are noticing how young she looks and are asking her what she's been using to look so young. Relaxing in the sun, holding breath, lifeguard lessons and swim lessons, bated breath. Don't hold your breath. Dentist and orthodontist, new trays, whitening and dancing, working out. That's all August's all about. Getting ready to roll, to rumble, for back to school impressions once September rolls around. Getting tan and beauty is pain. Expanding muscle, expanding glow. It's whatever makes you happy without hurting yourself. Play, have fun, don't take it so seriously. Don't let others force you into anything you don't know is right for you. Don't allow anyone, including yourself, to defeat you. Get up and show your muscles. Energetic that is. Get up and show your muscles. Or energy, actually, that is. Your love muscle. Love self first. And for each person, that is different. Whatever floats your boat. When people are happy, they don't cause fights or look outside themselves for validation. Those who shine the most really don't care what you think of them. They just love how it feels when they shine their little light. Instead of staying down in the dumps, go pamper yourself. Allow people to give to you. Try something new to see if you like it. Try something else if that doesn't do it for you. Sample everything if you like, as long as it's loving, authentic, and comes from your heart space and feels good to you. Patience comes up, which is number 2 of the High Priestess, and beneath that was Pride of the Sun, which was underneath the Patience. So pride, dealing with the pride, and then be patient for the masculine. Pride and Prejudice comes up here, and also pee-pee, so somebody might be dealing with little kids. I am woman, hear me roar comes up, as well as the Divine Feminine Pride, or in other words, her offspring. And the word offspring breaks down as offspring, because Leo is all about the summer and the heat. Dropping facade, performance, juggling act for Dragonfly Union. The King of Cups, Divine Masculine, with Saturn above him and resonating, setting the stage to surrender, but the Queen of Wands reversed is pissed, giving her 1 of 9 laser treatments, or 1 of 9 lasers, as promised. No more tasting his rainbow without asking first. The King of Cups with a secret smile, playing organ at church, or sitting pretty in gold leaf, or rubles or rupees, ruby lips or Dorothy shoes. REO Speedwagon comes up here. Orion Productions, Rocky Horror Picture Show, 1975. Red lips, white teeth. Sweet heart with a flat tire. Discover eerie mansion of Frankenfurter. Their innocence lost there in having a party. And by the way, that was director Jim Sharman, like shaman, but Sharman. Don't squeeze the Sharman. Also from Eventbrite came up there was another heading there with live shadowcast Friday, October 19, 2018 to October 20, 2018 at the Greater Nevada Field, which Field of Dreams came up, and that was Reno, Nevada. So just Nevada in general might be coming up here. Envy. Yep, Nevada. Envy. Envy. The envy. The envy of all. And then shock treatment also came up. Some of that information was about Rocky Horror was the number 2.go.123movies.io. Also REO, besides REO Speedwagon came up, but just REO, real estate owned came up. So a lot of real estate stuff was coming up. And just the word fields came up a lot. Could be field of view, magnetic field, strawberry fields, baseball fields, your galactic field, okay? All of those fields are coming up for here. Now in the read also is the King of Pentacles reversed next to the Emperor reversed twice, but it came up 3 times. So they're definitely related or the same person, but they were both reversed. Doesn't mean they were bad, it's just coming up reversed, and we'll get more into that in the read after I take you around the read so you can see all the cards. Okay, so here I'm just going to show you the read. All right, so this is, oh, sorry, it's just a rock. Here's the underlying energy of the 5 of Flames you see there hiding behind the cards with some other underlying energies from the bottom of the decks. The recent past is Karma, or the Judgment card. And then we have here the Foundation, which is that transition or death card. As you see underneath there, it's someone actually going through a portal, so it's very much about the portal opening and us walking through. Here's the center of the read of the Queen of Crystals, or Pentacles, challenged by the Adept of Orbs, which is like the Knight of Swords. But here it's much more about sending 5D messages. Here up top, as you see that Queen of Wands reversed, in the crowning position is the 10 of Cups, but you see it's right next to the 10 of Pentacles, so they were both reversed, by the way. So a lot of family energy here as the 10 of Cups over there. Then in the near future, we have the Chariot coming in, okay, and the masculine seeing himself as the 8 of Wands with the Romance Angel cards there. And then we have here, what's around the masculine is the Justice card, which was upright, by the way. And then the things he needs to clear and blocks is the 2 of Orbs, or the 2 of Swords. And then we come to the end here with the 5 of Orbs, with the Page of Cups, or the Page of Chalices above it, and then the 10 of Orbs, or the 10 of Swords above that, and then the 4 of Flames, all right? Those are the rest of the clarifying cards up to the peak there, and then the sidebar there of those cards, all right? So that's all of the cards for the read. I'm going to set you back down here. See if we can get you a little more view here of the rest of the read. Okay, so as we go on here, let me just get this stabilized in the heat. So a home may have been purchased in surrendering the act. So whoever's been doing the juggling act, okay? The King of Cups happy, the Queen of Cups not. Okay, so the Queen of Cups comes up 2 places here. He comes up upright in the underlying energy where that Queen of Wands reversed was there, but he also comes up reversed in the aftermath up there. Yeah, right at the end and the after the read cards that are way up top that I showed you last, he comes up reverse. So it could be 2 separate people, or he could have changed from before the beginning of this read till after this read. So the King of Cups is happy, but the Queen of Wands not. She's reversed. Snake in the grass, spying, with ladybug watching, or dumping trash, or getting mold issue fixed. The King of Cups at barber or barbershop quartet, or burning candle at both ends in pursuit of happiness, or trivial pursuit. The Queen of Wands reversed starts a conflict at home, of the Queen of Pentacles reversed showing her patience. So this could actually be coming to the Divine Feminine's home, or somebody else's home. Could be a neighbor as well. But the Queen of Pentacles reversed is being challenged, ungrounded, and showing her patience, all right? This is a test for the feminines. If the Queen of Wands comes and triggers you, showing your strength and patience. Recently, for the Divine Masculine is karma or karmic, coming together in co-creation, not expressing feelings about being overworked, not working, or out of alignment. The Queen of Wands reversed may be complaining that they're all children at work, but they're out of options, says the others. Or the Foundation, it could be the King of Swords also complaining that they're acting like children at work, but yes, we have no other options. Transition and fending off others to make a peaceful space for expansion or for your twin. Centrally for the masculine is the Queen of Pentacles celebrating or a reunion, the Empress in her knowing about insecurities or manipulations. Or the Queen of Pentacles, Empress, and Magician come together, but the Empress is unaware of the Magician's insecurities or manipulations in reference to this group. The challenge being the Knight of Swords, 5D messages, free to open heart to say what they want to say. Unhappy family or family ending, in truth and triumph, and passion offered in the 5D in a confession, a release of their burdens. The Emperor reversed and King of Pentacles reversed, and Justice, which was upright. Lady Judge, or group of healers, or Libra, destined to meet in 5D, or destined to arrest, or someone may have been arrested, to find satisfaction on their own. Or so someone might actually need to go to jail just to have time alone and be still, to connect with their higher self. Or a group now destined to split, or a court judgment comes through in settlement of a group or family dynamic. The Divine Masculine destined to break free of the power men, the patriarchy, the Empress, the businessman, and the judge. Fixed by 5D or 5G to gain satisfaction, or something was fixed, or game was fixed or rigged, manipulation or manipulated in someone's favor, or manipulating people to get more business. Married with kids and fighting at home, or marriage of partners, or nitwits came up, brothers who act like children, as the King of Swords, wounded warrior without options, but to leave the job or business, possibly home as well. Now crowning is the 10 of Cups. The 10 of Cups, 9 of Cups, and 10 of Pentacles, by the way, were all reversed. The Queen of Wands, reversed, may surrender, but the King of Swords is not giving up his home. Settling out with an offer to family to disconnect from the Emperor reversed, King of Pentacles reversed, and connecting with 5D, resting, without the past haunting him. No Queen of Wands around. No more battles and dumping emotional attachments. The end of dysfunctional family, clinging, stressing, crying. The King of Pentacles reversed. With that Emperor reversed, well, the King of Pentacles reversed comes up by himself here. But the King of Pentacles reversed may have lost money and status, but may have felt it was worth it to disconnect from their family. Or someone like a father or mother recently passed and dealing with family and inheritance issues. Family chose a dark past or the old way, or someone tried to pay off a judge or did, and family member shady deals in the past. Detoxing chaos in a release and end of family or family cycle, in walking away to connect in 5D and be free, yet masculine may still feel unsatisfied. Something is missing. The King of Swords with third party, sealed divine feminine, or someone treated like an errand boy. Go for this and go for that, or someone kicked out. Soon is the Chariot in a bold move to study, or an opportunity with the Hermit he hasn't been talking to, or Hermit meets with a small opportunity or a child or assistance to help the Queen of Swords reversed with loss of her family or family money, so she may need a little help. Or someone may have defaulted on a loan or looking for financial assistance, or someone in the family lied, bringing family finances down. Hermit sheds light on an opportunity, but examining all angles before going forward, before trusting anyone again. Investigating new avenues to recover the loss, inheritance, or business, or someone selling or buying something valuable, but when came to pay for it, the Queen of Swords reversed had spent all the money, or family lied about how much something was worth, and getting an appraisal now to sell valuables, jewelry, or buying a ring with a female friend's help, but she is lying because she wants him to spend the money on her, or she doesn't like the woman he loves because she's jealous, so she's helping him pick something that she thinks that person won't like because she doesn't want him to go with her. She wants him for herself. The Divine Masculine is coming up as seeing himself as the Eight of Wands, not expressing or holding back feelings of passions. The Queen of Cups was taken from. So here, this is on the masculine's card. He's seeing himself as not expressing his feelings, or he might have been holding his feelings back on purpose. The Queen of Cups, he feels like she was taken from, and now he must fight for her honor. And then that song came up, The Glory of Love. I am the knight who will fight for her honor. Okay, that's Peter Cetera from Chicago. Calling in soulmate, free yourself, keep an open mind, that your soulmate may differ from your usual. And then release your ex, Divine Masculine. The last card being new love. A new person has stirred your romantic feelings. And by the way, Peter Cetera's birthday is September 13th, 1944. And 13 came up a lot, as well as 9 is an ending number as well. And then 44, of course, is the mastering, grounding, and integrating. Around the Divine Masculine, justice rings. The High Priestess, or secret, deliberation, or poor decision. Then with the sudden event or epiphany of the Queen of Wands reversed, needing healing or needing to heal, or may have a secret. Or she may have actually caused the heartbreak and separation. And the masculine may be realizing this. He may want the Queen of Wands to apologize to someone, and it could be the Divine Feminine or the High Priestess. Clear blocks, Divine Masculine, of knowing and sharing, deception and negative self-talk, spying, nasty words, that knowing is a high vibration of justice, truth, and balance. Spirituality came up for the masculine as 11149. 49 is that Get Your Wish card on the 111. So spirituality, but even more so, physical activities and synchronicities came up for the masculine. Recovering from not getting their wish of emotional fulfillment and independence, maybe from what their dreams used to be, but at war with family or facing his fears of destiny with sealed Divine Feminine, an ending cycle to reap rewards and get over emotional loss, regret of tossing someone away or having been tossed out. The Page of Cups cracks heart wide open. The King of Swords faces their fears, and the King of Wands reversed may be exhausted but still has their dreams. And this could be the same person. The Knight, or the King of Swords and the King of Wands reversed can be the same person with their different personalities, but also can be two separate people. The King of Wands reversed, exhausted but still with dreams, opens heart to ending pain at home or in union. The King of Swords, King of Wands reversed could be the same person, as it could also be brothers, partners, or friends on the outs. And it could be masculine and feminine, because it could be if the karmic's coming up in her masculine energy. Aquarius, Pisces, Aries energies here. Could be a war over a new child as well. A kid's kid, or who's the dad. Break up to make up, but now the new connection and making up is an awakening to the union at home, a bold move to offer something practical to end someone else's sovereignty or help them financially, and it could be a proposal. Not happy alone, without friend or child, with a message of love, so they're missing that person, whoever that is, now present, or this present is actually a gift, that Page of Cups is here for them, that friend or that child that offers them love, that the Page of Cups love is puppy love. The worst is over in saving for twins or kids, impatient King of Cups reversed and Knight of Cups reversed, off emotionally but with strong recovery, or Sagittarius is impatient with Leo taking their time recovering, while the King of Cups and Knight of Cups both reversed, emotionally detached and not offering love or just being insincere and jealous. The worst over between Sagittarius and Leo, someone may be in rehab. A lot of water sign energy here. Cancer season, Scorpio, deep transformation, with the death card there as well, and Pisces and love. So conflict in transition and not expressing, or delays, but justice rings. Lotus opens as far as karma, and the Queen of Pentacles comes up here, challenged as the central issues, challenged by 5D messages in a bold move to knowing the family cycle is over and still at war within self. Conflict with karmic or karma in transition portal 2 of the masculine to the Queen of Pentacles, challenged by those 5D messages, that communication between them, because they don't really know what the other person is getting or receiving, while ending family and not expressing or holding back before boldly going where no man has gone before. Justice, truth, balance, and being in their knowing without seeing, literally facing their fears, himself, herself, opening heart to end pain and come into union. So that is the read here. The just generally the signs for the whole read. I didn't do the underlying body of the read separately, but the King of Cups, like I told you before, was the only one that was a major difference. The King of Cups was definitely upright in a great mood in the underlying energy, but was reversed after the end of the read. Aries was upright. There's a bunch here upright and reversed. Aries, Leo, Aquarius, Scorpio, and Pisces and Sagittarius were all upright and reversed. Sagittarius was mainly reversed, but definitely for a younger person, could be upright, or a child. Libra was double upright. Taurus was upright. Virgo was upright. Gemini was reversed. Capricorn reversed. Okay? And then as far as the court cards, the Emperor was reversed and the Empress upright this time. And as far as the kings, the only king that was fully upright was the King of Swords, which is unusual. And the King of Cups was both up and down, like I told you, but the other two kings were reversed. Of the queens, the only one that was upright was the Queen of Cups. All the other queens were reversed. The only knight that was reversed was the Knight of Cups. All the other knights were upright. And of the pages, they were all upright except the Page of Swords, who was reversed. Is that Page of Swords? Yep, Page of Swords was reversed. All right. So that could be the need for a little truth, a need for a message that didn't come through because the masculine hasn't sent that message yet. Also, then, while I was writing all this stuff down, my twin friend texted me a reading heading, Mars and Leo, go ahead and send that text. And I read that at 4:49. So that was the 44 of the Emperor, the 44 of that Mastering, Grounding, and Integrating, and the 49 of the Get Your Wish card. And that was from Refinery 29 from this morning. And then at 4:49, as I ended all this stuff, the sun totally went in and it became completely dark inside. It was really weird. All right, so there you go for the Divine Masculine read. I know that was a lot to process, but do what you can. I'm gonna pull a couple cards since we're already at 117. 117.55 we just passed, which is the 1 of the Magician, the 17 of the Star, and the 55 of the Ace of Swords, the Truth, Excalibur. So let's see, just to summarize what comes up in the Rider-Waite, my old deck. Just for closing comments, let's see what comes up. Everyone take a deep breath now. All right. All right, some last words for everyone here, for everyone watching, the best and highest good of all is concerned. What do we need to know? What do we need to learn? So closing comments here. What do we need to know? This June 30th, last day of June 2019. Patience. Oh boy, a whole clump fell out. But I'm not sure which direction it was, so I'm going to put that back in. And we're going to shuffle some more because we are so patient. All right, so a small clump came out, and I can take that. The bottom of the deck is the Fool upright, which is beautiful. And let's see how many cards came out here. 3 came out together. Okay, so we have the Temperance card, the Queen of Swords reversed, and the 4 of Pentacles upright. And then separately from that came out the Empress. So definitely with the Temperance card, and I just said being patient, that's all about being patient, so that was definitely true. because the divine feminines may feel a little ungrounded, and so they may be knocked out of their authenticity when they're ungrounded. Obviously, you guys all know that. So then we have this guy, which is all about grounding, being stable, ground. Okay? So that's really what that says. Divine feminine, if you get knocked out of your truth, be patient and ground. Be your abundant self. Okay? That was the clear message for you guys. Okay, so I'm going to let you go since we're already long on this. It's just 1:20:07. Make sure to drink your water, especially with the heat, even more water than usual. Get your rest as best you can, and do your best to do something fun for yourself, or just go get pampered. Go get a massage or something. Just do anything that makes you feel good. It's time for summer, time to pamper yourself, vacation, and rise and be loved, guys. Bye.